presenting Josie's. Where's Josie's? Okay. Present a tab. Should there be snow days? All right. So on our screen right now, I'm going to blow it up a little bit. Whoa, that's too big.
Why too big?
Okay.
Ain't that big.
Should there be snow days by Josie Bright. Josie, do you want to read this to us or do you want me to?
You can if you want.
Okay. So here's Josie's opinion on should there be snow days. Do you think that kids shouldn't need to go to school when it snows? I think that kids should get snow days because you get to spend quality time with your family and it is a safer choice. If your parents get off work for a snow day, you can spend some much needed time with them and the rest of your family. Plus, you can do fun winter activities like sledding, making snow angels, having a snowball fight, and much more. It is also a safer choice for you and your family. You have to drive slowly in case there is an icy patch on the road, and this would delay parent drop-off and pickup. There can also be black ice on the roads. Black ice blends into the pavement, and this causes many people to have gotten into bad accidents because of this icy occasion. Nearly 2,000 people die and over 135,000 people are injured each year due to car accidents on icy and snowy roads. Driving during the winter is particularly dangerous because of black ice, says thezebra.com. That is clearly not a safe thing to be around. You need to be able to spend time with your family and be safe. Therefore, I think that children should get snow days. All right. What did Josie do well? Fiona, what was something that Josie did well?
She gave like actual facts. She didn't say that, oh, snow days are fine. School is horrible to go to.
Right. She gave some actual facts and some evidence. She didn't just say school is boring and hanging with my family's better. She gave actual evidence. We know that. How do we know that this is real, actual fact and evidence?
She cited her source.
Zebra.com.
Zebra.com and what else? She put her Maggie.
She picked something that was out of that resource, and she put quotes around it to make sure that she wasn't copying.
Perfect. Yeah, she put quotations and she pulled something directly from an article that she read. She wanted to prove her point. What was her? She says she supports snow days. That's her opinion. She's all for it. Thumbs up, snow day. And what were the two opinions that she had about that to support that?
It is dangerous.
Okay, a safety issue, which she backed up with actual facts.
And spending time with their family.
And spending time with your family. So her two things that I asked you to have, spending time with family, and that one was more just her opinion, and she gave us some activities that we could do. And then factually, she found us a reason why it truly is unsafe to have to leave your house and go out in the snow and the ice. Is there anything that we see that Josie could have done better?
The conclusion.
Zeke, what could Josie have done better?
I feel like it's like people like to say like, well, like people specifically not to say, and that's why I think that snow days are good.
All right, Zeke remembered that I said, don't make your sentence, and that's why I think that. You need to be able to spend time with your family and be safe. Therefore, I think that children should get snow days. She revisits her reasons. So she's not exactly just saying, I think we should get snow days. But I think she could tighten that sentence up slightly by removing therefore. Therefore, I think that. Nailed it, Sophie. If she just takes out, therefore, I think that, and she says, you need to be able to spend time with your family and be safe. She could still leave therefore. Therefore, children should get snow days. If she takes out the I think that, is she still getting her point across? Do we still know that that's Josie's opinion without her saying, I think that? Yes. Josie wrote this paper, so we know it's Josie's opinion without her specifically saying, I think that. Does that make sense? Josie, are you good with that? Okay. I hope. Josie's missing now too.
Oh, you couldn't see me? Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Fantastic miniature paragraph overall. Lily, what else?
She started with a question.
She started with a question, and we know that that makes Miss Bab's skin crawl. Opinion writing, unfortunately, though, lends itself to having a question as the intro. I still hate it. I'm just going to say I still hate starting a paper with a question. I just do. So what would we do differently? I'm looking at your paper now, Josie. Do you think that kids shouldn't need to go to school when it snows? Also, just the shouldn't need to, like, there's something about that that's kind of clunky sounding a little bit. Do you think that kids shouldn't go to school when it snows? Just thinking. I'm thinking out loud and making noises.
Yeah, take out need and put shouldn't get to go to school.
Should not. Do you think that kids?
No, wait, take out shouldn't and then just do you think that kids need to go?
Oh, just take out the word shouldn't. Do you think that kids need to go to school when it snows?
I like that. Take out shouldn't.
All right, that cleans up our question. So if we're going to leave it as a question,
Shouldn't need. Take those.
do you think that kids
To go to school.
need to go to school when it snows? You need the word need in there. Okay? Taking out the word shouldn't cleans that sentence up a little bit. We're still leaving it as a question.
Wait, I know. You can take out shouldn't need and put should.
Do you think that kids should go to school when it snows? You could do that, or you could say, do you think that kids need to go to school when it snows?
I like this.
Okay?
No.
I actually, because of the rest of the way Josie's paper flows, am okay with that question. If we clean it up and take either the word shouldn't or the word need, one of those two. Okay? If you have other questions in your opinion paper after that intro sentence,
No. Ask Josie. Ask it gently.
ask it gently. No, just quit
That's
asking.
what he said.
Don't ask questions. Don't ask too many questions. You give me the heebie-jeebies when you ask too many questions in your paper. I don't like it. All right, let me get Lily's pulled up.
He's blushing on her cheeks. And are you sleeping? No. Why did you have your head on your chair like you were asleep? And her cheeks is relaxing. He looks like he was
Sophie, run up to the office.
Okay. I want to go to sleep.
Okay, hang on. What was I doing? Okay.
Run like the wind. I will. Double T done.
Open Lillers. Shared with me. Hang on just a second. Should there be snow days? I think this was it.
Mine says snow or no. Snow or no?
That's not yours.
No, that's not mine. That's
Yours is called snow or no, isn't it?
Yeah. I like that.
That was Jason's because he was asking for all those facts yesterday about what time of the day. Snow or no. Here we go.
No.
All right.
Nice. I like
Snow or No by Lily Earhart. Let me present this one to you guys.
That's a nice title. I already see some with like two spaces.
All right, here we go. Snow or No by Lily Earhart. Snow is inevitable here in the Midwest. I can make it larger.
Ooh, that's already an interesting sentence. What about frostbite?
That's already an interesting sentence, says Grayson.
I like the.
However, snow days aren't the best in my opinion.
What?
When it snows, it is slippery, and that's when most crashes happen. We most likely will have to still do school because we have access to school from home.
Yep, that's a good one.
Getting snowed in is a problem.
That's fair.
People couldn't get out in an emergency or even for groceries. That's my fault. I typed the word groceries on here. Or even for groceries. You also could get hypothermia from getting too cold. Snow, in my opinion, is very dangerous. All right. She's talking about just having snow in general. Snow in general, a day like today, no good.
What?
Because it's slippery and crashes can happen. Okay? And she brought up a really valid point that now that we have all this online learning stuff, it might just ruin snow days because if they call a snow day tomorrow because the roads don't get plowed overnight, if we call a snow day, are they going to make us just get our Chromebooks out and go from home? Remember when we all had to just learn from home for 2 weeks and it stunk? How many of us are afraid that might actually happen again tomorrow?
My personal opinion, I really like staying in school because at home I lose focus. Here I can focus more.
It is.
Right in front of me
All right. Grayson said he likes being here better because he can focus better. Josie.
I really like the
I can't hear Josie.
I really like the first sentence, but a few things I would do is uppercase or do the tab button so that you can indent on your first paragraph.
Indent.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
There's a double space.
Do we like? There's a double space where?
In between home and getting and people and couldn't. And people and couldn't. There might actually be 4.
Oh dear. Okay. All right. So she's got a few little editing things in here. What did Lily do well?
Beginning and ending. She did a good
She didn't ask a question.
She didn't ask a question.
Wait, the ending sentence is.
Yeah, I would change my ending.
You would change your ending sentence?
Kind of.
Yeah, because that kind of messes up what she's saying. Because she's saying that there should be no snow days, but in her opinion, it's dangerous. So that
Her whole paper is about snow being dangerous.
I would take out in my opinion.
So she says she might take out in my opinion, so she could just say snow is very dangerous. Okay. I'm fine with that because all of her arguments
snow could be very
say something about
snow in some circumstances is dangerous. I like snow.
snow being dangerous. She says it's slippery and crashes. School necessarily doesn't say that snow is dangerous, but getting snowed in, you can't get out for an emergency or even for groceries. Hypothermia, you get too cold. What is Lily missing?
She's missing the point of if we should go to school or not.
I'm not worried about that. What is she missing from Fiona? What's she missing?
I know what she's missing. Maybe like an actual fact. I understand it's dangerous, but for some people it's not completely.
All right, she's missing an actual fact, right? The way this is written, there are a couple of places where she could easily put in a fact. She could put in a fact about hypothermia down here and how you get hypothermia.
Or how many people get hypothermia a year?
How many people get hypothermia each year? She could easily put a fact in there. And then similar to what Josie did, she could have put a fact up here about when most crashes happen. Is that Lily's opinion that most crashes happen then, or is it an actual fact that most crashes happen then? I'm not sure right now because I don't have a fact. All right, but solid. I feel like she had a solid intro and closing. She's got lots of good opinion in there. We just need a little bit of fact to stand it up a little better. Josie.
I think that my favorite part is definitely the first sentence. It's like a really good hook. It makes me want to keep reading. So that's my favorite part, and you did really good on that.
That's what I thought too. That the intro was actually a really good hook to it.
All right, now here we go. Now we're going to read this article that everybody has. So what's going to happen now is we are all together, similar to how we wrote the Sally Ride paper all together. We're all going to go through and write this cell phone opinion paper together. And it's not just cell phones, it's cell phones in school.
Cell phones are no.
Okay? Now, hang on.
We got
Very similar to how we did with the Sally Ride paper, we're going to start with reading some research, and then we're going to form our opinion. I have an article that is cell phones in school, and then there is another article called Time to Ban Cell Phones, okay? And so we're going to read through these, and as we're reading through, I want us looking for things and highlighting or circling things that stand out to us that either support cell phones in school or that are against. So I'm wanting us to find some evidence that we'll be able to use when we actually write our opinion piece. Does that make sense? We're going to be reading this and looking, we're spending the entire rest of our day today looking for evidence in this that's either for or against cell phones in school. All right, I hear hands raised. DJ, yes, sir. Or Grace, sorry.
That's Grace. Grace is Grace.
Okay, Grace.
I'm kind of with Bull because I feel like there shouldn't be, but then I feel like you should bring your phone, but just keep it in your bag in case of emergencies.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm on both.
All right, so I feel like several people are agreeing with you right off the bat, Grace, that Grace's opinion is, yeah, we need a cell phone just in case emergencies, but leave it in your backpack so that you're not distracted or whatever, okay? Josie.
I just don't think that we need cell phones at school because the school will keep you safe and they have cell phones and the teachers can have cell phones at school and since they're grown-ups they can always call and everyone's looking out for you and you don't really need a cell phone at school because you're already safe.
Lord knows, I'm sure you guys know I always have my cell phone. Sometimes alarms are going off to send people to Miss Williams or specialist classes or different things. You guys have heard it ring and interrupt class before. I keep it because, like the same reason that you guys keep for an emergency. If something happens with one of my kids, I want to be able to know. But for the most part, do I ever use it like just straight up during class? No, unless it says like my daughter's school is calling. I don't think I've ever used it during class.
Act like it's not there unless it's like the alarm that's going off.
Right, unless the alarm is going off or my daughter's school calls, I usually don't mess with it unless you guys are at recess or specials or something. So what we're going to do now, like I know we all have an opinion. We can talk about our opinions, but what I want to start with today is going through these articles and finding facts that support one side or the other. Zeke.
I think, what if, so this happened, well, it didn't happen, but this is, like, realistic, but, people, the kids, that, like, they, like, rarely would use it in school, but, like, on the bus, if something happens to the bus driver, the bus driver isn't gonna contact for help.
Okay, so Zeke is worried about like the bus ride and being able to have your cell phone on the bus ride in case something happens to the bus driver.
That's what I use my phone.
Okay, all right. Again, I'm not here to debate our opinion yet. Right now, I want to go through the article and we're going to look for things we can either highlight or circle, pros and cons about cell phones. Josie. We're doing this all together. This isn't an on your own thing.
I know, so are we going to keep on doing the snow days thing? Because right now Grace is rewriting her thing and are we going to be like grading them stuff?
No, I'm not grading the snow day one. It was just to give me, I kind of glanced at most of them. Grace, I haven't actually glanced at yours because I knew you and Josie were still going back and forth with it. But no, I glanced at a few of them. I just wanted to get an idea of kind of where you guys were starting from on an opinion thing. But no, it's not like graded going in the grade book or anything. Okay. So you guys can actually just forget about your snow day paper at this point, unless you just didn't give it to me. And then I still want you to get it to me. All right. Grace. Yes, ma'am. We are getting nowhere fast. Stop talking if you're not named Grace. Grace, go.
I feel like that if kids were able to like bring their phones into their desk, I feel like some people would try to take it out to recess.
They would. And
Agree. All right. I'm going to read the article now.
Okay.
Agree, Grace. All right. Cell phones in school. Cell phones have become very popular. Is that a fact or opinion?
Opinion.
So far, it's an opinion. According to Pew Research Center, 95% of Americans own cell phones.
Fact.
There's the fact. 77% of those are smartphones. Many kids also have cell phones. Cell phones make it very convenient to get in touch with people in case of an emergency or to simply say hello and check on each other. Okay. If you see something that you think would be a good fact that you might want to use to support cell phones when we write our paper, you can circle or highlight it. A major debate has started about cell phones in schools. School districts are debating whether students should be allowed to have cell phones at school. There are many pros and cons to this debate, but the pros might be more important than the cons. The advantages include having cell phones in case of emergencies and using them as excellent educational tools. I just highlighted those two things. Okay, having cell phones in case of emergencies and using them as an excellent educational tool.
Wait.
Disadvantages, I might highlight using a different color now. You can use pencil or crayon or circle or underline.
The thing about that,
Okay.
though, is everybody have cell phones. So if they use them as like an educational tool, not everyone's going to have that.
Okay.
Not
So yeah,
everyone's-
if I say get your cell phones out and look this up, not everybody's got a cell phone with them. Not everybody even has this. Raise your hand if you don't have a cell phone yet.
I have one. I got one.
Okay, half the class does not have a cell phone yet. And that's okay. My kid's not probably going to have a cell phone. He doesn't have a cell phone. Does Landon even have a tablet? No.
I don't.
No.
I have an Xbox though.
Okay, so
Shush.
stay on track, guys. Okay, disadvantages include issues such as phones being a distraction and phones being misused during the school day.
I already know.
With the right guidelines, maybe these cons could be eliminated. Approximately 40% of the kids walk to school each day. In some areas, this number is even higher. It seems as if this would be a critical time for a child to have a cell phone if they own one. You never know when the child might need to contact their parents during this walk. If students are not allowed to take their cell phones to school, they would not have their cell phone with them at this time. It might also be a convenient time for a parent to call and remind the child of something, or just tell them have a good day and make sure they arrive safely at school. Having a cell phone on the walk home might be just as important. So, being able to talk to your parents on your way to or from school, whether you're riding the bus, walking to school, those are all good reasons. Is there anything in here we probably need to highlight as a pro?
I would kind of want to do the whole sentence. That whole sentence kind of seems.
Which whole sentence? Or you mean the whole paragraph?
Paragraph, yeah.
We're going to have to narrow it down because we're not going to copy a whole
I think
paragraph in there. So what's the main idea of this paragraph?
From it might also
It's for
be,
safety.
it might also be to just as important. From there.
It might be a convenient time. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Safety.
Until so from it might be a convenient time until on the walk home might be. I'm gonna use mine forever.
But that doesn't talk about their safety. That's just the parent calling to remind us something. So I agree with Gray that this whole paragraph has some important stuff in it on the pros, but ultimately it's about your travel to and from school, right? So I think I'm actually going to, hang on, let me show you what I'm going to do.
I highlighted the wrong thing.
Oh, that's okay. All right, here's what I'm going to do. Let's see. Oh, let me go back over here. How did somebody already do this? Amy Pooh? Yeah, I don't know.
He's ahead of things.
He is.
You probably didn't get all of them though.
Here we go. I'm going to be sample student. And which one of these? This is my highlighter. All right. So first I want to have cell phones in case of emergencies. And excellent educational tool. Those were pros. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to do cons, distraction, and misused. Those are the cons. Let me go back to pros now. My yellow. All right. I think instead of highlighting anything, I'm going to make myself a little note out to the side of this paragraph that says,
I'm making a doc.
to from school being an important time to have them. And maybe even from a safety. To and from school safety.
What if your teacher goes unconscious?
I could also highlight, let's see here. I like this fact, 40% of kids walk to school each day. Okay. And then I could say critical time to have a cell phone. Parent to call. Okay. I'm going to leave it at that because most of this paragraph is talking about why it's a good time to have their cell phone then. 40% of kids are walking to school, and that's a critical time to have their phone. Okay. To from school safety. Okay. Raising hand. Who was that? I don't know.
Cam's still raising her hand.
Cam, it's your hand raised. What's up, baby?
I'm going to go ahead and disagree with the phone and the walk to school because I am going to say, I'm not going to say names, but last year, whenever we were doing the building drop off, I saw, I'm not going to say who, but they were looking at their phone and they completely rammed into the door and hurt their nose. And so if you're walking with your phone, you could trip and hurt yourself. So I'm going to go ahead and say that it's not okay for you to have your phone.
That does happen. I've also been laying down on the couch or in bed and like holding my phone like this and then bam, drop it right on my face. That hurts a lot. I actually have a friend who had a black eye from dropping their phone on their face like that. All right, we are crazy out of time. We're not even through one of the articles. We're not even through the first page. Okay. So another positive aspect of cell phones is that most of them have access to the internet. Some schools lack enough technology to enhance learning opportunities. If students were allowed to have their cell phones in school, they could use them to assist in their learning. They could conduct research for research papers. They could even download educational apps that teachers may want them to use to do their work right from their cell phone. All right, sticking just with that paragraph. Is there anything in here that we want to use? Keep in mind that our school, do we have access to technology? Are we one-on-one? Does everybody have their own device at school? No. At every grade level? Yeah. So is having a cell phone really important? No. For that reason, at our school. Two of you used my phone during our Christmas paper research because there was a website that the school blocked for no reason at all. And I pulled it up on my phone so that Zeke and Lily, there was literally nothing bad in the articles. So I let them read the articles on my phone because school was blocking the website about Italy and the website about Canada. No reason at all. Nothing wrong with those articles. We had Go Guardian then. I don't know if Securely would block it or not. Now, regardless. Is this a point that's valid here at R7? Not really.
No, because we all have computers.
There are some rare times like the Christmas writing where we needed something to work around it because it was too safe and it blocked us. But for the most part, you have access to the technology that you need on your Chromebooks, right? If you want to highlight something in there, you can. I'm not, because at our school district, that's not necessarily an important point. Lily.
And your computer black stuff that's bad, and on your phone, like if you're looking
You
for
have, like,
something,
this.
something bad
It's
might
like-
pop up.
Okay, so Lily's counter arguing, if I'm using my phone, the school has this stuff safe for a reason, and certain sites are blocked for a reason. Your phone, if your parents didn't put the stuff on it, then your phone isn't going to block that stuff. And plus, your cell phone filters are not as good as the stuff that the school puts on, and stuff will slip through, and you might accidentally run into inappropriate stuff on your phone that would have been blocked at school that we don't need you guys seeing. You might accidentally misspell something and search for something incredibly wrong. Even people put typos in our Google chats. It happens.
Just
So
like me yesterday when I asked you to check the captions and I accidentally said a bad word.
exactly, I was totally thinking of that, DJ. Yeah, DJ might have accidentally typed a cuss word, a mild cuss word, but it was there. Okay, it was an accident. Typos happen. Moved on. There are also times, I'm moving on this article so we can maybe get through one more paragraph of this. We'll have to continue this tomorrow. There are also times within a school day that there may be an emergency and a student may need to call their parents. If they have a cell phone, they should be able to use it. If there is a major crisis, it would solve the problem of having every student waiting to use one phone to contact their parents. Cell phones were made to help people communicate easily. We are limiting that easy form of communication when we don't allow cell phones in school. All right, is there anything here we want to highlight about being able to contact your parents in case of a major school emergency?
Yes.
Is that important?
Yeah,
So I could say, let me rewind a page.
I think
There are also times school day may be an emergency and student may need to call their parents. Maybe. Me, who raised their hand? Josie, what are you thinking?
I'm pretty sure this article for now is leaning towards one side.
All right, Josie says this article seems to be leaning one way. Which way is this article leaning, Josie?
Yes.
For having it at school.
Yes, having them at school. I agree. It's saying limiting cell phones limits communication. Now, if something major, I'm just going to be devil's advocate here. If something major happened at school, do I expect all of you to individually line up and call your families?
No, you would.
Who calls when we need to call everybody? Who makes that phone call?
Police. Miss Watson or Mr.
Miss
Johnson?
Watson or Mr. Johnston sends out like the all call, right? Where your parents are like, bloop, 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 bloop. Hello, Blue Jay Nation. This is Clint Johnson calling you, blah, 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 to let you know that school lunch tomorrow is chicken nuggets. Yum, yum.
Ooh. Is it actually?
Yeah, it is. All right. So that you get that call. And stay safe, Blue Jay Nation. Okay? And that's what it sounds like, right? Just calling to let you know. We're letting out school early for the snow. No, we're not. No, we're not.
Yep, you're.
No, we're not.
No, we're not.
Okay? But
Teachers or.
that's what it would look like, right? I don't expect everybody to just call their parents and be like, Mom, pick me up early. Mom, pick me up early.
Can I actually do that right now?
Mom, pick me up early. No. Okay? And if there were a major crisis, yeah. Or like if it's like a major natural disaster, the phones might not even work, period. Okay?
But, like,
And
if
cell
it's a
phone lines and cell phone
crisis-
towers would be jammed if it was like a
But
whole
there's a big
total
fire.
crisis. Okay, Lily.
Also, this isn't for writing, but Miss Watson in the cafeteria said for you to send out a seesaw message that there's no tutor.
Okay, so like today, this is actually happening today. Tutoring, there is after school tutoring for face-to-face kids. And it's canceled today. And Miss Watson said, tell your teachers to send a message to all the tutoring parents. I can send a message to parents all at once in Seesaw, just like, I can send a message to all of you at one time. So I can send that out. Now, that being said, we're going to stop here for today
Kids gotta go.
for writing. Calm down. You don't turn into a pumpkin if you don't show up at Miss Watts or Miss What's Her Face at 1:15. Miss What's Her Face. I didn't mean that, Miss Williams. I'm really sorry. Okay, hang on. I'm going to turn this off for a second. All right, Grace. Yes, ma'am.
Do we save it to our draft?
Yeah, save it to a draft. Josie, was that your question?
No.
Okay.
Well,
Great
you can stop
minds think
recording.
alike out there. Save it to a draft. You guys put this in your desk somewhere safe. Do not take it home. We're going to finish marking this up tomorrow. Okay. Sample student needs to save it to their drafts as well.
Yeah, your shirt's on. And everybody just said,
Okay. All right. Now we're moving on to social studies. Let me hit stop record and re-record so that it's two different messages.
Don't re-record. I need to say something. You can stop recording now.
I didn't